Greg Bakken here. Let's go on a paranormal investigation together. There is no better place to do that than a one-of-a-kind event we're holding at the haunted 300 Clifton Mansion in downtown Minneapolis, Monday, September 30th. This unique event starts with a quick 101 on how to use the equipment. Then we take a very special trolley tour, and unlike normal candlelight ghost tours, we stop at one of the locations on the tour and do a paranormal investigation right there. We return to the 300 Clifton Mansion and embark on a paranormal investigation throughout the beautiful 20,000 square foot home, exploring the large formal living rooms, secret passageways, and basements deep below, including areas not normally accessible to the public. The 101 and investigations are led by Char Savoy and myself. Tickets are limited. This event starts at 6:30 p.m. Monday, September 30th, with a couple of pricing options available, and tickets are available at 300clifton.com. Look for GhostBox Radio Candlelight Ghost Trolley Tours on the main page.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakken.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining us. It is Casual Friday, so we're very excited about that. And over in Eden Prairie, I have Adam with us running the stuff from the station end. And how are you doing tonight, Adam?
Doing pretty well. Hopefully I don't hear anything weird through my headphones tonight like I did on Wednesday night.
Yeah, there was indeed a whistle, two whistles.
And how nerdy am I? I send you the timestamps on Thursday on the podcast. So literally Thursday afternoon, I had a break at work. I decided, I know I heard those. Hop on the podcast on Spotify, which you can download and listen to at any time.
Yep.
And it's so I'm sitting there. It's I know we were talking about the dolls. The first one at 300 Clifton, which most of you, if you come out Monday to the event, can meet the doll at at 300 Clifton, and talking about the Annabelle that Greg has sitting behind him for those who are watching.
Absolutely.
And I literally heard a whistle, and then another one. Go back and review it, and it showed up on the podcast, even though Greg, Shar, and Chad, who are our guests, they didn't hear it at the time, but it's nope, I know I heard it.
Well, and so you had mentioned about how to definitely use headphones while listening to it, because when I tried to do it without headphones, I couldn't hear it. When I was talking with Chad about it, Chad's like, "Well, I wonder if that's my air conditioning going on." So I went and I listened and I put the headphones on. And when I listen to it, and I'm not going to do it into the microphone, but it's
yeah.
And so I went up to Chad. I'm like, "Is this what you heard?" And he's like, "No." Or is this what you think it is? He's like, "No." So it's definitely not his air conditioning unit. You do have to use headphones. And if I had more time, I was going to see if I could boost it at all and include that. And I hadn't been able to have the chance to do so yet, but man, that was really interesting. And we just don't know what that is. We don't know what that's about. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I thought it was neat. And if you ask anybody who really knows me, I wear headphones all the time. So listening back to it with cans on, is what I do normally anyway.
So I'm frustrated over here because we stream this out onto the internet using StreamYard,
Hmm.
and starting up the stream tonight, one, two, three, four of our streaming locations will not stream tonight, and it is very frustrating. And I'm just going to go on a public rant here against StreamYard because StreamYard is very expensive.
Hmm.
And over the past few months, it's been harder and harder to connect to Facebook. And I found out yesterday that StreamYard is actually doubling its price. So the service that we're using currently is about 400 and some dollars a year. It's going to literally go up to 800 and some dollars a year. And it's like, you're going to have to do something about this if you want to charge money, that you're going to have to be able to allow us to get to our pages to stream. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating because it's like we're trying to do a show here, and you can't get to the places that we need to. Luckily, we're still on the air, radio wise. So listeners, I really, as always, appreciate. But we like to also have this video component. So it's just frustrating, and I got it out of my system now, Adam. I think we're all right.
Well, it's all those free services that all of a sudden want to, jack up the prices to everything. And why is the number 8 for everything, whether it be $8 for a check mark or $800 to stream?
I don't know. I don't know.
Something about the number 8. I don't like it.
I just want to put this up here real fast. One of our dear friends out in Florida, Joshua, he says, just a quick update, Greg. We're okay. Downtown is underwater, but we have power, and me and my dog and cats are safe. So, Joshua, that is very cool. I'm very happy to hear that. We've been watching the storm. We've been watching how ridiculous that is and how destructive it's been. So, I'm happy to hear that everything is well enough for you and the pets and the dogs and cats. So very cool. That makes me feel very happy. Thank you for the update. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Josh.
So,
Thank you very much. I was
so
honestly worried about our listeners and viewers who are down there in that area. And was it North Carolina is getting hit with biblical rainstorms?
a lot of flooding.
Yeah, and there was
And Tennessee is getting lots of flooding.
and then there was a reported tornado in South Carolina today as well.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
and it was a pretty big one. I saw some footage on that, and it's probably when they finally get out there, it's probably going to be an EF3.
And Justin Wenzel, who has been on the program a number of times, storm chaser out here in the Twin Cities. I saw his update. One of the places that him and his wife Amy, also known as the original mother to Linus, the place that they stayed up in Florida seemed to be pretty decimated, and he's just was lamenting the fact that such good places and such good people are affected so badly by these storms. And obviously our thoughts and prayers are out to everyone. I don't know if the death toll has gone up, but the last I heard, I think it was like 26
That was the
people
last
have
number.
so far had.
That was the last
And
number I'd heard. Yeah.
so obviously please continue to stay safe out there. Please follow the rules of the folks in public offices who are telling how to stay safe and stuff. They do know in these situations. They've been through them enough. I know you all have too, but we just want everyone to stay safe. So that's all I'm asking for. Having people stay safe is a lot more important than me not being able to stream to a couple of these stations. That's when you look at it in perspective, it's my little rant is very unnecessary, but we just want everyone to stay safe. So that's where I'm at. That's my thought on it. So
Couldn't agree with you more, honestly. But the rant needed to happen.
oh yeah, I can't wait to give it to StreamYard. So I'm just powering up the anger over here. So we got that.
We'll create it into one of the shorts and make sure to tag StreamYard in it.
Well, I think they're getting enough of that already because I've been going to their community page, and there's people are just so unhappy with all that. So, but they're saying, well, it's going to make us a stronger, more profitable company. I don't know if it will or not. So
Yeah, I don't know.
that's just how it is. Now, A couple events I want to talk about here real fast before we get too deep into stuff. Tomorrow, you remember Emily, she does Crunchy Soap and Home. They're all going to have an event over at the White Bear Meadery tomorrow. That's going to be between noon and 5, and it's going to be called Creep Show Makers Market for Misfits. A lot of alliteration there. It's come on, give me something that I can say without sounding ridiculous. Because it's a good name, I just can't say it very well. So basically, step in the world where the eerie meets the extraordinary. This is the final curtain call for their expanded indoor-outdoor market of the year, and that is a lot of fun. They're both inside the meadery and outside the meadery, and it promises to be spine-tingling experience. Discover a curated collection of local makers and artisans specializing in gothic, steampunk, metal, vintage, boho, and other darkly delightful creations. If you braved the wonders of the Curio Collective Minnesota, reveled in charms of crunchy soap plus home, or savored the spirit of White Bear Meadery, this event is not to be missed. Truly, I can't go tomorrow, but I've been to one before. This is really cool. A lot of unique vendors with really quality stuff that they make. They like I just said, inside, and there are tables set up outside. You like mead, you're going to love this. You like good food, they have some good food there as well. And as Emily says, as the shadow lengthens, the air grows crisp. It's the perfect time to stock up on spooky treasures and get a head start on your holiday shopping. Whether you're searching for the perfect accessory to complete your Halloween look or a unique gift for the strange and unusual in your life, you're going to find it here. Once again, this is over at the White Bear Meadery. This is tomorrow, noon to 5. If you come out there and you see Emily out there, please, first of all, say hi to her for me and just let her know you heard about it through our show, because we just want to make sure that they know that we are very supportive of what she does. It's a lot of fun. She takes good care of the people that come in. She also takes good care of the vendors. So it's a great place to go. Great food, great drink, and check it out tomorrow at the White Bear Meadery at noon to 5. Creep Show Maker Market for Misfits, and that's tomorrow. Then, of course, Monday is our big day, as we are having the 300 Clifton Mansion event. We're very excited about that. This is finally here. There are tickets still available, so please, if you're thinking about it, go out there, pick it up. Join us. A great thing that Adam had mentioned on Wednesday is that this isn't an all-night thing. It's a Monday. We understand that. So it's going to be like 10 or 11 that we're going to be done with this event. Just enough to get your ghoul on and check out a great mansion and go to places that normally you're not allowed to go into. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Once again, Char Savoy and myself, we're going to be leading a Paranormal 101. So for those of you who are interested in investigating, we'll show you a little bit of how the equipment works, and we'll get on the trolley. We're going to do a tour. We're going to stop at one of the locations, which never happens. They don't do that. So we're going to stop at one of the locations and do a little bit of an investigation. And when I say we're doing a little bit of an investigation, I mean you're doing a little bit of an investigation. I investigate all the time. This is your moment. This is your time to do so. Adam is going to be there Monday. Adam's going to be investigating. He doesn't do it that often. So we want him and you and everyone else to investigate. And then we get back on the trolley, go over to the mansion, and we go into places in the mansion that they don't normally let us. And that is where we are going to be able to do more investigating. So I'm excited for it. There's some tickets left. Go to 300clifton.com. It's in the comment section if you want to find it, or just go out to 300clifton.com and find it. We hope to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And to be perfectly honest, people have said to us, well, we hope that you do it again. A great way to ensure we do it again is for folks to support this event. It's just as simple as that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing you out there, Adam.
I can't wait either. It's going to be the first time my daughter's going to go on an investigation as well. So this is a family-friendly event. Even though it's like we're going on a paranormal investigation, it's still a very family-friendly event. And if you would rather just watch people investigate, you can do that too. It's not like if you're buying the ticket, you have to investigate. If you want to sit here and watch somebody like me try to investigate, then that's perfectly fine too. You don't have to if that's something that's kind of keeping you away from this. Like, if you just want to watch and experience it, that's perfectly cool too. We're not going to force you into doing anything.
Absolutely. The level of involvement is completely up to you. So, and then what I'm really excited about as well is for some of us, it'll be the first time that some of our new GhostBox radio shirts are going to be seen in public. So I'm excited about that. That's been a long time overdue in terms of getting that all settled and stuff. And you were hoping to make those available for people who want to purchase those. Shortly after the event. They won't be available at the event, but if you're at the event and you're like, "Ooh, I like some of those. I'd like to maybe get one of them," we'll certainly be able to help you in that department. Because Gritty Gear is putting together a site for the shirts, and you know what other shirt they're going to put on there is the blue AM 950 shirt for people if they want to get those as well. Because we've been getting a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I'd like to get one of those AM 950 shirts," and we just haven't had like quantities, but we're going to make them available on that site as well. So that's pretty exciting too.
And it's a cool looking shirt. I absolutely love it. The blue and the outline of the state with the AM 950 logo over the cities area. It is a cool looking shirt. It is very neat.
I like it too. And I think too, one of the things I really like about it as well is it sounds silly because we're talking about a shirt. And so first thing you think about is how it looks, but I love how it feels.
Yeah.
I really do like how it's like really high quality. And that's like, okay, it's the nicest garment I own. So it's kind of like, this is all right. I like this. And even after washing it, it still is very nice.
Yeah. The neck and arms area. Let's see. God, I wear that shirt at least once a week at my full-time job just to kind of rub it in how much I like my part-time job here better than my full-time job. And yeah, so I've washed it at least once a week since getting it in June. The neckline is still holding up great. It doesn't even look like I've worn it. It's great material, and the screen print that they used for the logo hasn't started to fade at all. And
absolutely,
that's what I really dig about it, because a lot of places you're going to get, screen prints like that. They're going to fade after the first few washes. Gritty Gear did a hell of a job. This is so professional.
It is. And then actually on their Instagram, I think you've seen it, is the video of them printing the shirts.
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah, it's really good. And, I just going to say before we head off to break that, because they've been so good to us, folks, if you can, go to grittygear.com or grittygearcompany.com or grittygear.com. Either one works, because they also have shirts that they create, that they design, which are really pretty fun. And they also are going to, they're also due for custom as well, obviously. So you definitely check it out for your needs. They've been so good to us. And we were on a call with them a day or so ago, just going over the finalities of the GhostBox radio shirt. And, I don't, look at me, I don't know how to dress. So when they're just like, they have to handhold me through every aspect of it. And they did so, and they loved it. And they were and Nicole was great about it. So it's good quality stuff. And especially like if you are with a company or something and you want to, or even a paranormal group, and you want to have shirts made for your paranormal group that are great. And I know, being on a paranormal team, you're going to wear that shirt a lot. It's going to get sweaty. It's going to get grungy. It's going to get a lot of use. These are great shirts for it. So hopefully you all check it out as well. We got a lot coming up. We talked last week about Duluth, a Bigfoot sighting, and we got that article. We're going to read that. We also have question of the week, which really has an abundance of answers, a lot of different answers as well. Very simple question this week, but it really hit home to a lot of people. So let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we all have that coming up. It's Casual Friday. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday here on GhostBox Radio. So, Adam, the new music for Casual Friday, thumbs up, thumbs down. What are you thinking?
It'd be nice if I turned my mic on.
Well, we're all learning how to do a radio show at the same time, aren't we?
I actually I dig it because there are a lot of times, there are weeks where it is dark on this show, where every night listening to it becomes a lights on night. But then we get to Friday, you get like the techno beat. Yeah, we've made it. Take a deep breath. Let's head into the weekend. I kind of dig it.
Good, good. I haven't heard anyone dislike it. And normally either people would love something, they'll maybe let you know. If they think it's okay, it doesn't upset them, you're not going to hear anything. And if they don't like it, you're going to know. So,
That's
we
why
haven't heard any feedback.
I would say
so
that's why
good.
Yelp is in business.
Right, exactly. Very few good Yelp reviews, that's for sure. So we got a lot of stuff to get to, but also, folks, being Casual Friday, let us know what you want to talk about. We have stuff to talk about, but put it into the comments what's on your mind. If you have seen or experienced something, or if something's on your mind, put it into the comments. Give us a call, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. Picking up on last week, our friend Carla reached out, and she had said, our friend listens to GhostBox Radio, and found out her friend's name is Rachel. So Rachel, thank you very much for this. Rachel was wondering if we were going to talk about the Bigfoot sighting in Duluth, and I'd love to say I have my finger on the pulse of all things cryptozoology, but I didn't. So I'm like, I'm not sure what that is. Can you send me a link? And by the time I asked that, it was like 10 p.m. the Friday that we're going to be talking about it. So reached out to Carla, and Rachel pulled the article and sent it my way. I'd like to read this. This was issued, and this was on the, let's see here, the mix108.com website. This was published on September 12th, okay? Adam, I'm going to read this, and I'd like you to tell me if you think that there's anything wrong with this article, okay?
Okay.
So, Bigfoot group has Bigfoot encounter near Duluth. Spooky season is upon us, and that makes this all the more scary. There has been a Bigfoot sighting in our neck of the woods. This certainly isn't the first one, but sightings of the mythical creature are definitely not as common as other supernatural sightings like UFOs, for example. A few years ago, a woman from northern Minnesota reported a Bigfoot sighting. The supposed sighting happened in Ely, which isn't too far from us. Another woman also reported an even spookier sighting of Sasquatch, claiming to have encountered the legend at Jay Cook State Park, of all places. Now, the Bigfoot sighting between Duluth and the Twin Cities, this sighting happened in Pine County, which is located in between Duluth and the cities. It happened in early May this year. According to the report, there have been many Bigfoot sightings in the area over the years. In fact, this was all part of a Bigfoot expedition put on by the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. This expedition had 18 participants, and nearly all either had heard or saw Bigfoot activity. The expedition lasted 3 days and 4 nights and took place in heavily forested areas in Pine County that also had swamps and rivers. The head of the expedition released a lengthy report of their findings and Bigfoot encounter after the fact, with some things that definitely stuck out, including the feeling of being watched one night between 2 members of the trip, splash and large rocks being thrown against other rocks that was not an animal, feeling of one person that had crossed the line and trespassed into the mythical creature's land, red and green eyes in the darkness. One member had something thrown at him in the woods, odd white lights in the woods. You can read the full report, which has in-depth reports on supposed encounters with Bigfoot during the expedition. They also go through each encounter and rule out the possible explanation for what other things these encounters might be. I want to see a Bigfoot is how that article ends. And I will say that a lot of the stuff that they experienced, absolutely, by experience, absolutely. Do you think to me something really sticks out in that article though that is missing? Do you have any thoughts on that? Not to put you on the spot.
I do. One thing I would definitely want to point out is mythical.
Well, there's that too.
That bothered me, the mythical creature. But,
Yeah,
what hard evidence was found? Anything?
right. And for me, why isn't there one name associated with this report of like the Bigfoot, the leader of the expedition? Well, what's his name?
Was it Bobo? Was Bobo in the cities?
Well, it's actually the crew from Mountain Monsters that were running that, and you got
Oh,
that hillbilly guy. So yeah, I don't
Boomhauer
know.
of Paranormal.
Oh my god, it's one of the worst shows.
I cannot stand that one.
Now you can go to the full report, and there is some names there, but you got to think, well, why are you not putting that into the report? So, or why aren't you reaching out and getting like an interview that makes things a little bit different? I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, this seems like um, it
And
is an interesting report to say the least. It's 26 pages, so
and
we're
maybe
not.
I'm old hat when it comes to radio, but it was a radio station that put this out.
That's correct.
Where are your actualities?
Well, yeah.
Where's the quote? Where are any voice drops that could be then, put into the written article? There is none. That's what bothers me the most.
With this though, now that I see the report, you got to wonder, like, do we maybe we get some of these folks on to talk about what they've experienced, because this is pretty in depth, but I wanted to have more in the article because I just feel like that's what you're reporting it. So what is
Hmm.
it? And if anyone's listening and you were actually part of that expedition, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Give us a call, 952-946-6205. And I don't know. To me, I mean, and here I'm a little jaded, okay? So I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but I've seen one of these, right?
Hmm.
I try to keep it to myself. I don't really talk about it a whole lot. And it's more like, how many episodes can we go without me mentioning it? Um, but I thought some of the stuff was very, very spot on. One that really, let's see if I can. Of course, for some reason, I scrolled back to the top of this. That was super smart. Um,
But the red and green glowing, are they attributing that to eye shine?
that's eye shine. That's what I was trying to, because I don't know what page I'm on now. I can't even find the article anymore. Um, that is eye shine. I have seen that. We have seen red eye shine, and that is pretty cool. Um, let's see here. What else is there that I really thought was cool? I wanted to odd white lights in the woods, and I attribute that to elementals. I believe that those are elementals. In our experience, what we had done and seen, we had every Bigfoot encounter we've had been preceded by elementals, and that could be like fairies, and it could just look like white lights. We saw lavender lights, so that to me was like, yeah, to me that seems pretty spot on. Um, so yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, Joshua, the article, Joshua says, I mean, if they went through all that with nothing substantial, what was the point? And the report is actually very substantial. But I also wonder too, how many of them are going through it just as thinking of Bigfoot as a creature opposed to some sort of interdimensional entity. And I think that changes how you have your interaction with this entity. I mean, just my opinion.
I could see
So,
that. I mean, that's one thing I definitely want to do. I want to go squatching.
gonna do it tomorrow.
There are times, Greg. There are times.
We're gonna do it tomorrow. We got
What's
we got
this?
a
You inviting me?
no, God, no. I mean, I don't mean it like that. Wow, that was that's
Wow, we know.
telling, isn't it? That's
Well, good night, folks. Greg's running the rest of this on his own. Come to EP and flip
you,
the key when you're done. Bye, buddy.
you've been saying nice things to me lately and everything, and then you get this. I mean, this is really. I mean, even I'm thinking this is a slap in the face for you. I mean, that was.
No, but one of these days I am going to go squatch. And in fact, my father-in-law and I are discussing going out to Wisconsin on the Wisconsin-Michigan border and going out doing that next spring.
Wisconsin-Michigan border, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of woods, big state forest out in that area. It's like there's always a lot of sightings of not only UFOs, but Bigfoot and even like what's considered the Beast of Bray Road in that
Oh, yeah.
section of Wisconsin. So it's like, why don't we do it? His rotator cuff's going to be healed up by then. So it's like, let's just roll out and I'm going to buy a parabolic dish and like, let's go listen for some strange things in the woods.
That would be fun.
Sounds like a blast to me.
I think, yeah.
I'd
I think
invite
again,
you, but since you don't invite me anywhere, then
we're not going to be anywhere near the Twin Cities tomorrow.
where are you off to? Or is
We're
it
off,
undisclosed location?
This is, well, I can't remember actually. We're going down south, and it's about a few hours outside of the Twin Cities because we did an investigation there at this big house in June, this big country home in June, and it's a historical location, and I can't remember any of it. But the thing is we're doing a teach out tomorrow. I went through this week the Spirit Box responses that I did, so I sent them off to Shar. We're going to do a presentation.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to show people around the house that I don't know that it's called. And then afterwards, I think we're going to do some squatching somewhere.
Right on.
And so that's the only reason why I wouldn't be inviting you, because you're just not going to probably be in that area. So
No, I won't. In fact, I might end up swinging by Emily's event on Sunday. We're going to be in the St. Paul area to begin with, so
oh, cool. Yeah, please do.
I'll tell her
Please
you
do.
said hey if we end up swinging by.
That would be great. That'd be great. She's putting a lot of work in this stuff, and you know, I mean, the problem is I know there's a lot of things going on, folks, but please spread yourself thin, support these folks. And we didn't even talk about Ghost Stories and Beyond on Wednesday over at Billy's Bar and Grill. I mean, even I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's coming up.
Oh my, yeah,
So,
that is. Wednesday is going to be the 2nd of October. So yeah, that would be the first Wednesday of the month.
Already, and just ridiculous. Let's see. Carol says, "Where are you going to do your exploring of Bigfoot? So exciting! Best of luck." Thank you very much. Are you going to come out to the event, Carol? It'd be great to see you out there. Hopefully you do. If not, we'll catch you on another event. Joshua says, "I just wish people could be more open about their experience, but I get it. People like anonymity." That report, and I can put the link to the report on my pages. That report is 26 pages. They're not skimpy on the details. Let me tell you that. The article is skimpy on details. That's what I'm talking about. The article, because to me it should be like, instead of saying, you know, the leader of the Bigfoot expedition, it's like, well, what's their name? You know, who are they? Because there's a lot of people I know.
Yeah,
And I just wonder if I was one of them.
And it's more along the lines of quit sprinkling in mythical and legendary, and no, get rid of the fluff. Get to the point. But again, I'm a former news director. That kind of article drives me crazy.
It's sensational.
Yeah, it does sensationalize it, and it gets you no extra clicks or extra listeners or viewers. But that's a topic for another discussion.
Well, all I can say is hopefully, let's see here. Hopefully, Lauren Wells is not listening to the show tonight, because we just ripped apart her article. So
I know Lauren.
you do not know Lauren.
Yeah, I do.
Well, tell her to write better next time.
I will. We actually went to Brown together.
Well, that explains a lot.
That does explain
So-
some of that article.
It does explain some of that. And to be fair, I went to Brown as well. So, you know,
Oh my God, I know who that is.
Lauren Wells.
That's funny. Anyway, that's beside the point.
Carol says, we are working hard to be able to go to the event. Really want to make this work. I even have a spirit box my son bought me, and I want to learn how to use it correctly. Well, I might be able to help you with that. I've helped others before. For example, lending a spirit box to someone else, and just that's about it with that. I'm just kidding. You can hold on to it as long as you want. I don't want to use that one anyway.
I
Seriously, I don't.
I do have a great story about that spirit box, but again, we got to get the question of the week and all that, which was way more important.
Why don't you tell us your story first? We'll take a break and we'll do question of the week for the last segment. How's that sound?
All right, cool. So you lent me a spirit box, and I tried using it several times and really wasn't getting a whole lot out of it. So then I went to the event at the Grant House last September and finally got to actually truly use it. And at one point, we're down in the basement of the Grant House, and Kyle, he's got an SB7, so I just turned off the spirit box you got me. You were letting me use because he had an SB7, which I'm pretty sure was yours anyways. But that's
At one
beside,
time.
yeah, but that's beside the point. Yet later on that evening, I'm with Char's group, and we end up going into the kitchen area of the Grant House. I've got the spirit box with me. Char's like, turn it on, see what happens. And I set it on the staging table of this kitchen area. And everybody's standing in a group. I think there's probably about 10 to 12 of us. And we're all asking questions and nothing. And we're about to turn it off. So as soon as I pick it up and put it in my hand, I think it was Shane asks a question as I'm about to turn it off. And we get our first response. And so as I'm sitting there holding it in my hand, it is now going off like crazy. Intelligent responses. At one point, somebody asks, so what dish was known for being a specialty in this restaurant or in this kitchen? And it said raisin pie. And guess what? Raisin pie was something they would make there at the Grant House in that kitchen.
That's great.
But the other thing was, it was at full battery. As we spend about 10 minutes, I would say, just getting these rapid fire intelligent answers, both Shar and I are looking at the energy meter, or the battery gauge on the front of the spirit box, and it is just dropping like you wouldn't believe. Just complete battery drain after only being on for a grand total of like 22 minutes. But it charged the entire day in my hotel room. There was no way with a 22-minute total runtime that should have been dead. Whoever was in there talking to us completely sucked the energy out of that spirit box to give us like 10 minutes of just back to back to back to back intelligent responses. It was such a great experience.
It's very much worth it. And that was the red spirit box?
Yeah, that's the red one that my daughters were working on trying to get her to figure out how to use it.
What that one was called. I don't remember what
An
that one was called.
X7 or an X6?
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been too long since I've seen it. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Well,
fine.
you know, it's the spirit box for training wheel with training wheels.
Well, as long as it works, that's all that matters. That's all I care about. So why don't we do this before we head off to break? The question of the week this week is: as we get into October, growing up or even now, what was your favorite treat to receive when going trick or treating? We have that. We got a lot of responses. If you want to put your responses into the comments or call in and reminisce, you're more than welcome to 952-946-6205. We're going to take a break. Stay with us. When we come back, question of the week, and we'll wrap up the week. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday. On GhostBox Radio.
It is Casual Friday as we head into the final segment. As everyone's getting ready for the weekend, don't forget to make sure you go out to Creepshow Makers Market for Misfits over at the White Bear Meadery tomorrow, noon to 5. You're going to see a lot of great stuff out there. And then, of course, our event that Adam, once again, thank you for putting the link into the comments for the 300 Clifton event, paranormal investigation. It's going to be really cool. We won't go through all the details again. It's on the website. Check it out. If you're interested in any way in paranormal investigating, even if you just want to be there, watch, and go to unique, beautiful locations, this is the event for you. That's this Monday, September 30th. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, we've been talking about, well, we're going to start talking about the question of the week. It's just been so much stuff today that we haven't been able to get to it yet. But the question of the week is, as we get into October, growing up or even now, what was your favorite treat to receive when going trick or treating? And in the comments, Joshua just said Kit Kat bars, which yeah, I can't disagree with that one bit. Now, Adam, Danielle had said, see if we can find it here. She said, growing up, it was probably something like a full size candy bar, which a lot of us have totally agree with. She's like, as an adult, I love getting offered alcohol on the walk. Does that happen?
Yeah, so around our neighborhood, when the parents will take the kids out, there's like 2 or 3 houses that will hand out wine coolers and beers to the parents who are coming by with the kids. So that's actually kind of neat. I enjoy it immensely.
Yeah, no, I mean, it almost makes me wish I had a kid. Do you think I could go? Do you think I could go to a neighborhood and just like walk up to the people's houses and see if they'd offer me booze, or do you think I'd probably get into a lot of trouble?
In my
There's,
neighborhood, you'd probably be welcome with open arms. Be like, "Yeah, come on in, buddy. Pop one open."
I would just say that I know you.
You know,
That'd be my way
if you
in.
said you knew my daughter, because both my wife and I, believe it or not, we're very introverted. Morgan is not.
No,
So everybody in the neighborhood knows who my kid is, and it's like, yeah, I'm her dad. Oh, didn't realize you were around. Yeah, I just don't
well,
talk to anyone.
we get a lot of people answering the question tonight about growing up and even now. What was your favorite treat to receive when going trick or treating? Let's see here. Helen is from Canada, and she says, the Wonder Bar in Canada. This Canadian chocolate bar is truly an exercise in indulgence. First of all, I think she just grabbed the product information, but that's fine. Deliciously beginning with the outside layer of a rich Cadbury chocolate coating filled with golden, thick caramel and a peanut butter pairing. These Canadian chocolate bars are a substantial sized treat that will ruin your appetite. It's a thick bar that most definitely will stick to your ribs. What am I reading here? Experience the sweet Canadian wonder of the delectable Wonder Bar. You have to try this chocolate bar.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, send it to us.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, you know, that's the best way for us to try it is send it to us and send enough so I can give one to Adam. All
Thank
right,
you.
that's
That's all I ask. I mean, you've got me locked up here with Patrick, who for some reason still isn't doing weather in front of the show.
I don't know what that's about. But I'm getting you a shirt. I'm getting you a T-shirt.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Scrooge. Thank you. Maybe another coal on the fire.
Yeah, well, I mean, they told me I had to give you one. Let's
Thank you, Chad.
see. Let's see. I do get a fix of those from. Okay, Rob is saying that he gets. Rob is from the UK actually, so there's like this conversation going on in the comments here when we had this question today, and he's saying that he does get a fix of those from Helen, who is the one who brought up the Wonderland bar. He says I'm UK based, so have Lind, Canberry just down the road from me, Galaxy and Marks and Spencer's chocolate. Those are Galaxy and Mark and Spencer's. It's Marks and Spencer's is a whole brand upon itself, all of which I eat far too much of. I hear you. Melissa says I get a lot of flack for this, but peanut butter kisses. Why would someone give you flack over it?
Dude, those were good.
The ones in the black and orange wrappers.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Those were the
Eric's-
best.
Eric says mini Snickers, which I had an old person moment today. I'm walking through the grocery store and I want to get some crackers, and what they call those the clubhouse crackers.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I turned the corner and they're at the end cap and it's like clubhouse minis. I'm like, why is there so many minis of everything? Why can't you just sell me the size I want? I'm like, oh, that's kind of
Next, you're
senior
going
moment
outside
for
and
it.
yelling at the clouds.
Pretty much. It's
Way to
pretty
go,
much
Abe
it.
Simpson.
So yeah, like where everything's mini these days.
Shake that fist harder, boy.
Yeah, right. And I do like the man yells at cloud. Okay, Grandpa Simpson. Let's see here. Chuck says 100 grand the candy bar. No, I'd like 100 grand. I would be just fine if someone gave me 100 grand at a house.
I would get a different costume and go back.
it's funny. We did that one year, a long time ago, where we knew a house that was giving away like full cans of Coca-Cola,
Uh-huh.
and so we drove. We dressed. It was two of us. We dressed in a costume, and the plan was we'd go and just kind of swap costumes a little bit, but he wanted to do it like right away, like right after we went the first time, and so it's like, no, we got to let's walk around a bit and come back and do it, and because it's like so obvious that we're the same people.
Hmm.
And he's like, no, no, no. So some real half-ass way of doing it. And I mean, they knew what we were. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
Like I took the jacket that I was wearing, just put it over my head, and trick or treat. Oh yeah, okay. You're not the same person. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the cool thing about Halloween, though. So a few years ago, when we first moved in the house, Danny and Morgan went out trick or treating with the neighbors, and a couple of teenage boys who were not in even costume come to the door, and they got bags, and they're like, trick or treat. And there was also a pro wrestling event on that night, and one of them was like, "Oh, is this the Brock Lesnar match?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's about to start." So I'm sitting in my living room with these two teenage boys who came to get candy, sit here, watch a wrestling match. One of them even answers my door and hands out candy for me during this match. I give them more
Wouldn't work.
candy, and they go on their way.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna let strangers in my house, but
Yeah,
good. I mean, good for you.
it was a
Shar
good time.
says Shar says Hershey's, when the kids were little, we lived by a convenience store. They would hand out pop and chips. The kids thought that's amazing. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
My sister rode Junior Mints, and I'm sorry, Tracy, if I'm having Junior Mints, the whole time I'm going to be thinking about Andy's Mints. You know what I mean? I mean, just spend the extra 25 cents on a real candy. Let's see. Carly says my favorite was Jolly Rancher sticks, really, and the Charm Sweet and Sour Pops and Dippin' Sticks. I lived in a neighborhood where they handed out chips, pop, whole candy bars, and one lady handed out candy apples and bags of change.
Wow.
Did you ever see the episode of Bob's Burgers when they did Hell Hunt?
No, I did not.
Oh, that's a great. I mean, Bob's Burgers kind of gets on me sometimes, but that's like a season 2 episode or something.
Hmm.
It is really good. It's really good. It's like the best and worst of Halloween right there. This is popular because I think this is what you had said as well. Reese's peanut butter cups. That was Brian that said that. Joanne says the orange and black wrapper taffy. Okay.
Oh, I remember those.
I'm sorry. Some of that stuff, I mean, we all have different tastes. I get it. But
Yeah, I do remember those.
my friend Freddie, he's like homemade venison jerky. All right, whatever, Freddie.
I lived in the middle of nowhere. People would give that out.
I believe it. Uh, and then Austin, my friend Austin, puts a picture up. Says warm scrambled egg, one handful per child.
I've seen that. Oh yeah, I've seen that one. That's funny.
That's good. Well, I'm gonna do that. I gotta make good scrambled eggs. So
Gotta
um,
give out the ketchup packets too, because a little bit of good ketchup, because a lot of kids don't like Tabasco with their scrambled eggs.
mhm. Carol says in the comments here, she says Carrie does huge yard display every year, and her husband give out those little 2-pack of donuts. The kids love it. Plus her spooky yard, well, spooky house. Well, I mean, this is a new house, though.
Yeah,
So I
the old
guess.
house. I mean, that's a haunted house without even decorating.
Let's see here. What else do we have here? Let's see. Karen says any candy bar. I love it. Just anything. Just give me something. But Baby Ruth's or Snickers was a score. As
Hmm.
such, I give the fun size candy bars 2 per kids at Halloween. And if I get stuck with leftovers, at least they're good. And that's kind of the main thing, right? That you want to get something that you would eat. That's kind of where it's at here. Let's see. I'm trying to find. I remember some that I really thought was interesting, like Sarah. I think Sarah said that those Smarties. She really liked the Smarties, and I like the Smarties because I always thought to me they kind of look like pills, and I always thought that I loved it like I was having pills, and I guess that's weird.
That is
But
weird. But the kids when I grew up, they would snort pixie sticks.
yeah, okay,
So
That's something to watch for future.
Yeah, and believe me, some of the people I grew up with, believe it.
Let's see. There was one. Chris McKinnell of the Warren Legacy Foundation. He said something, and I lost it. I could just make up what he likes. No, he says Rhesus all the way. There's Rhesus seems to be kind of the top here. I like him, but Brian says Zagnuts, which no.
I don't know if I don't even know what that one is.
I'd say getting a dime, which happened on occasion, because that if I could go buy 5-10 pieces of candy, I wasn't sure what you meant by a dime there. So I'm glad you kind of clarified that. Because I'm like, where are you getting your?
I need a costume. I'll be back.
Yeah, right. You got a dime. All right.
What kind of dime we dropping here?
Breaking some FCC rules here. Good stuff all the way here. And then Carol has jumped back in, and she says, no, this house is haunted too. Think the spirits enjoy all the Halloween action. I loved when we took these huge pillowcases to get our candy. Loved it. All laugh out loud. We used to get money. That was crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. And then Ashley says all the different M&Ms are the best. Once again, we got a lot more responses, but they're kind of all similar. I do want to just make sure that we get in before we wrap up here. Once again, please go if you have nothing to do tomorrow. Even if you have time, just please go over to the White Bear Meadery, Creep Show Makers Market for Misfits. That's noon to 5. Go check out what they're selling over there. Support local makers, as well as some nice mead, some good food, and then of course 300 Clifton on Monday. Please, if you're thinking about going, please get the tickets. It's over at 300clifton.com, and we hope to see you Monday. Monday we'll probably be rerunning that episode that we did a couple weeks back, and it's going to be a great time. So please check it out. We'll be back next week, Wednesday, with Refined Divine. And Adam, we'll see you Monday at the event as well. So looking forward to that.
It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be a blast. Everyone, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.